There are those who walk among us with a subtle glow in their eyes, a light not entirely of this world, nor belonging fully to the next. It's a gaze that has witnessed too much to be startled by the commonplace, yet still finds wonder in something as simple as the sun setting over the horizon. Have you ever felt in moments of profound silence that perhaps your journey here might be drawing to a close? Not as an early farewell to your current life, but as an ancient cycle of returns finally finding its completion. If these words resonate somewhere deep within you, like an echo in a long-forgotten chamber, consider walking this path with us. Stay connected with this sanctuary that serves as a bridge between worlds, between who we are and who we're finally becoming. Young souls arrive on Earth thirsty for experiences, like children at a carnival seeing everything for the first time. But when you're in your final incarnation, the veil of forgetting becomes thinner, almost transparent. You don't arrive with complete amnesia, but with persistent remembrances. Since childhood, you've carried a sense of recognition, not just occasional déjà vu, but a profound sense of, I've been here before, I've done this many times. Ordinary children look at the world with fascination. You looked with quiet recognition, like someone returning to an old house where every corner tells a story you already know. Your soul no longer needs complete forgetting to learn. Partial remembrance becomes your companion, not as explicit memories, but as deep intuitions about situations, people, and choices you've faced in previous cycles. You meet people and immediately know whether you've known them before, not through objective memory, but through a resonance that vibrates beyond linear time. A peculiar solitude accompanies final lives, not the loneliness of abandonment, but that of a traveler who has visited places few others know. It's like being a foreigner, fluent in a language, yet whose accent and inflections reveal you weren't born to it. Have you noticed how difficult it is to get excited about the same things that move crowds? How common ambitions, wealth, status, power seem peculiarly empty to you? Even surrounded by people who love you, there exists a silent abyss, a distance that cannot be crossed with words. This solitude isn't punishment, but a symptom of energetic differentiation. Your vibrational frequency no longer fully resonates with the earthly plane. You're here, but part of you already dwells elsewhere, like having one foot on each bank of an invisible river. It's a feeling of being simultaneously present and absent, connected and disconnected. Ancient traditions called this the heavenly homesickness, a yearning for your true dwelling place. In silence, when the mind rests and the outer world quiets, you feel something unnameable, a nostalgia for a place you've never physically been, a cosmic longing that no earthly experience can satisfy. It's as if every cell in your body remembers a higher frequency, a more expansive state of being. This longing isn't for a past, but for a future, for dimensions your soul knows, but your human body hasn't yet experienced. Souls in final journeys carry this strange duality, a deep love for Earth and its beauties, alongside an equally deep understanding that this isn't your true home. You love the river where you swim, but know your destiny is the ocean. When we contemplate the starry sky, most marvel at its beauty. You feel called by something beyond beauty, a connection, a recognition. It isn't mere admiration. It's a recognition of origins. The night sky isn't just a visual experience for you. It's a silent dialogue, a reunion with cosmic roots. One of the deepest signs of a final incarnation is the ability to love intensely without possessive attachment. You love people, places, experiences, but hold them with open hands, not clenched fists. It's a love that honors freedom, that doesn't seek to possess or control, but to flourish together. There exists in you a strange capacity to be fully present in significant moments, experiencing them completely, while simultaneously observing them with contemplative detachment, as if part of you knows this is the last time you'll experience a certain taste, a certain landscape, a certain embrace. This duality doesn't diminish love. On the contrary, it intensifies it. You love knowing everything is transitory, including your presence here. This brings not sadness, but an almost sacred appreciation of the ordinary. A common sunset becomes a cosmic farewell. A simple meal, a final feast. A routine embrace, a priceless treasure. Awareness of impermanence doesn't bring anxiety, but a mindfulness that transforms the everyday into sacrament. In early lives, we love our immediate circle, family, friends, our tribe. With time, that circle expands to include communities, nations. In the final life, the circle embraces everything, not from moral obligation, but from a visceral understanding that everything is interconnected. Separation is a useful illusion for certain lessons, but now you see through it. Do you feel others' pain as your own? Can you understand even those who hurt you, not from naivety, but from perceiving that their actions arise from pain and confusion? This universal compassion is a sign of a soul that has experienced both pain and joy in countless forms and no longer needs to judge to understand. This compassion doesn't mean passivity. On the contrary, you act with a moral clarity that transcends dogmas and social conventions. Your ethical compass doesn't come from external teachings, but from a deep understanding of the universal laws governing existence. You recognize that human suffering arises from ignorance, not intrinsic evil. Each destructive act is, at its core, a clumsy request for love or a reflection of unhealed wounds. For most, synchronicities are rare and surprising events. For you, they become almost everyday occurrences, as if the veil between worlds has grown so thin that normal laws of causality begin to yield. The line separating coincidence from synchronicity disappears. The universe seems to converse directly with you through patterns, numbers, chance encounters, premonitory dreams. You think of someone and they call. You need an answer and a book falls from the shelf, open exactly to the page containing the information. You dream of a place never visited and days later receive an invitation to go there. What would be extraordinary coincidences for others becomes the normal fabric of your reality. These aren't mere chances, but signs that your consciousness no longer operates solely within the restrictions of the physical world. You become a catalyst for synchronicities, a focal point where subtle and physical worlds meet. Your presence in a location often triggers significant events, not through deliberate action, but through the vibrational frequency you carry. It's as if the energy field around you creates vortices where probabilities alter, where the unlikely becomes natural. The Akashic Records, that cosmic library of all experiences and knowledge, begin opening to you not as dramatic visions, but as precise intuitions, knowledge that appears from nowhere, immediate understanding of complex situations. You know things without knowing how you know them. You perceive patterns where others see only chaos. You anticipate future developments not as divination, but as recognition of causal seeds already planted. In early lives, we oscillate between extremes, light and shadow, materialism and spirituality, action and contemplation. In the final life, these polarities begin integrating into a harmonic whole. Opposites don't cancel each other, but dance together in a sacred choreography. Can you be deeply spiritual without denying the material world? Contemplative, yet efficient in action? Compassionate without losing discernment? This integration isn't perfect, you're still human. But the tendency towards synthesis, not division, marks souls concluding their cycle. You don't choose between body and spirit, science and faith, reason and intuition. You perceive them as complementary lenses for the same multidimensional reality. You begin to perceive that there's no true separation between sacred and profane, The divine manifests through the simplest, most earthly experiences. A glass of water contains the cosmic ocean. A casual conversation can carry profound truths. Enlightenment isn't found only in temples or isolated mountains, but in the intimacy of the kitchen, in a friend's embrace, in contemplating a falling leaf. In the final life, your presence becomes your message. You don't need many words or dramatic actions. Your energy communicates more than speeches could. People seek your presence without exactly knowing why. They feel calmer, more centered, more inspired just by being near you. It's as if you carry a frequency that tunes others to their own inner truths. Your mission rarely involves grand stages or public recognition. It's more subtle, planting seeds in seemingly casual conversations, offering transformative perspectives in intimate moments, being a beacon of possibilities simply through how you navigate your own difficulties. You no longer need to convince anyone of anything. Your truth manifests naturally, without persuasive effort. There's a natural detachment regarding the results of your actions. You plant without needing to see the harvest, trust in cosmic timing without anxiety for immediate validation. Like a gardener who knows some seeds will germinate even decades after planting. Your patience isn't forced. It's born from a deep understanding that everything has its perfect time to blossom. This silent mission brings a paradoxical peace. You know you're doing exactly what you came to do, even when it seems you're doing nothing extraordinary. The extraordinariness lies in the quality of presence, not the grandeur of actions. It's the difference between a lighthouse that shouts and one that simply shines, confident that those who need to find their way will naturally be drawn to its light. Perhaps the most definitive sign of a final incarnation is conscious preparation for transition. There's no fear of death, not because you desire it, but because you understand it as a passage, not an end. It's like the butterfly not fearing to leave the cocoon, sensing the expansion to come, even without having ever flown before. You prepare internally for this final transition, not with haste or anxiety, but with tranquil acceptance. There are matters to resolve, relationships to harmonize, forgiveness to offer and receive. Not from a sense of moral obligation, but from understanding the importance of harmonious cycle completion. Each resolved matter is a thread of attachment transmuted into freedom. Your final life isn't a solitary end, but a collective beginning. You're like the last page of a book that simultaneously serves as a bridge to the next volume of a cosmic saga. The closing of your individual cycle contributes to a broader awakening, to an elevation of planetary consciousness. You're simultaneously graduating student and teaching assistant in this school called Earth. Being in your final life doesn't mean spiritual superiority or perfection. It means completing a cycle of earthly learning. You still have challenges, still make mistakes, still face human limitations. The difference is you no longer experience them as tragedies, but as the final verses of an ancient poem. There's a compassionate acceptance of your own imperfections, an understanding that the purpose was never to achieve static perfection, but to constantly evolve toward ever higher expressions of love and consciousness. There exists in you a peace that transcends circumstances, not a static peace, but a dynamic one, a deep trust in the cosmic process, even when you don't understand its details. Uncertainties continue, but don't paralyze you. Pain persists, but doesn't define you. It's an inner quietude that remains even amid external storms. Not from indifference, but from being anchored in something more permanent than the fluctuations of earthly life. You carry a profound gratitude for the earthly journey with all its beauties and challenges. Each experience, even painful ones, is recognized as a precious gift that contributed to your expansion. There's no bitterness for past suffering, only acknowledgement of the role it played in your spiritual refinement. Like gold, not resenting the fire that purified it, you embrace your complete story with reverence. As your earthly journey approaches its conclusion, you feel called to simplify, to detach from the unnecessary, not from asceticism, but from clarity. Like a traveler beginning to organize luggage before returning home, you naturally identify what's essential and what can be left behind. This isn't a process of painful renunciation, but of relief, of recognizing what truly matters. Which of these truths have you felt without being able to name? Which of these signs resonates with your most intimate experience? Perhaps you're just beginning your earthly journey, or perhaps you're concluding a pilgrimage of millennia. Wherever you stand, know that each step is sacred, each breath precious. Remember, the final life isn't about leaving, it's about being fully present while you're still here, embracing the mystery of what we were, what we are, and what we're eternally becoming.